Hello friends, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal. My name is Naunidh Singh Ali and these are my parents, Mrs. Ranjit Kaur Ali and Mr. Jogendra Singh Ali. Friends, today we have come in front of y'all to present a classic case of fraud which has occurred with my parents at the hands of the Wadhwa Group. My parents have been cheated of almost 60 lakhs. My friends, 60 lakhs is such a huge amount. We are not even venturing into the calculation of the interest applicable. This is just the principal amount. Now this consists of three parts. First, the payment of 41 lakhs made in 2014 to the Wadhwa Group for an additional 2 BHK unit along with the redeveloped unit as per the offer which was given by the builder to my parents via Unnat Nagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society. Second, the corpus amount to the tune of 11 lakhs which has been held back by the builder. And third, alternate accommodation rent of 17 months which was at the rate of 45,000 per month to the tune of rupees 7,65,000, and these three parts cumulatively contribute to an amount of almost 60 lakhs. And today, when my parents approach Wadhwa Builder, they are given illogical reasons. They are said that we can see your transaction in our accounts, but we don't have any clue why your transaction occurred. Or they are said that all the earlier employees which were there have left the organization and now we don't have any clue as to why the transaction had occurred. Or they are told that the documents might be at their godown and they are looking for the documents. I want to ask Wadhwa Builder that in 2014, had my parents paid them money for buying vegetables? On what purpose did they accept such a huge amount of 41 lakhs? I mean, no one just gets up one fine day and transfers 41 lakhs and the other person or the entity just receives it and all keep quiet. Is it possible? Or does it usually happen? No, never. When the funds arrived, they didn't think at that time why it arrived. And they have been using the funds comfortably for the last 10 years. And now that when we are questioning them, they tell us that we don't know why our funds have arrived. Basically, in Hindi, that's termed as Yeda Banke Tera Khana. An employee from the upper management named Mr. Srinivasan Gopalan had committed to my parents that he would be giving them a reward regarding the same in a span of 2 weeks' time. But till date, those 2 weeks have not got exhausted. My mom is 70 years old and my dad is 77 years old. My parents have been forced to run from pillar to post, from Bandra to Kandivali, Kandivali to Goregaon, Goregaon to Kandivali, Kandivali to Bandra. They have been harassed at the hands of Wadhwa Builder beyond limit. So friends, now let me tell you how this happened. So we were staying in a society called as Unnat Nagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society, which is located at Unnat Nagar number 1 at Goregaon West in Mumbai behind the Filmistan Studios. In the year 2014, our society went into redevelopment under the Wadhwa Group. At the same time, an offer was given to my parents by the builder through the society, that is Unnat Nagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society, that along with the original redevelopment apartment which they were to get, they could also opt for an additional 2 BHK unit by paying an amount of 41 lakhs to the builder. Also, they were repeatedly being insisted to opt for the offer by the secretary of the society, Mr. Ashok Nargolkar, and also another member of the society, Mr. Mangesh Dalvi, who himself is a builder. And they were saying that it's a good offer, it's a one-time offer, you should go ahead with it. But there was a condition involved that this would be on a confidential term Therefore, Mr. Ashok Nargolkar and Mr. Mangesh Dalvi said, nothing to worry about, we are there for you. My parents decided to go ahead with the offer and therefore handed over a check of the amount 41 lakhs in the favor of Wadhwa Realty to Mr. Ashok Nargolkar and Mr. Mangesh Dalvi, which was forwarded to Mr. Vittal Das Girdardas Parikh, who is one of the directors at Wadhwa Realty Private Limited and who was then the CEO of Anmol Fortune Project, whose office is in Kandivali. But after a couple of days of time, the check was returned and the reason cited was there is some taxation problem. So you are requested to issue the check on a different entity's name, and the different entity was Vijay Associates Wadhwa. Now, Vijay Associates Wadhwa, my friends, also comes under the Wadhwa group. Hence, my parents didn't think much about the change requested and went ahead handing over a check in favor of Vijay Associates Wadhwa to Mr. Ashok Nargolkar, Secretary of Unnatnagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society, and Mr. Mangesh Dalvi, member of Unnatnagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society. The same was deposited and got cleared on 31st of July 2014. Soon after the check got cleared, my parents received a call from the Wadhwa Group's head office, which is located in Bandra Kurla complex, and they were asked the name of the member, the family member on whose name the additional 2 BHK is required to be registered, and therefore they provided the information suitably. As the offer was given through Unnatnagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society, every time the meeting happened between the society and the developer at their head office, the society always put forth this agenda and the builder always agreed that whomsoever has paid the money towards the additional 2 BHK, we shall fulfill their commitments whatsoever. Soon after that, due to the pandemic outbreak, the government had imposed a lockdown, because of which all the physical meetings had ceased. A mail was sent by Unnatnagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society on 8th of March 2021, and the agenda of the mail included 12 points. Out of which the 12th point corresponded to our registration of additional 2 BHK unit. In the reply to the mail which came on the 15th of March 2021, the builder, in reply to the agenda's 12th point, mentioned these cases have got nothing to do with the redevelopment and the society. The individual parties can approach us directly to sort this with us directly. And therefore, after getting a reply in such a fashion from the Wadhwa Group, even the society started giving us cold shoulder that you would need to directly get in touch with them for seeking a resolution or registration of the additional 2 BHK unit. So my parents had to contact multiple times over email, over calls, to get appointment for a mere single meeting at the BKC head office. And they had a couple of meetings at the BKC head office, but those meetings were nothing short of just a time whiling away and harassing affair. Wadhwa Group is registered with the registrar of companies, and the account filing which they do, they have to declare before the registrar annually, every now and then. Now my question to the Wadhwa Group, Wadhwa Builder is, under which head did they mention about our transaction of 41 lakhs in the record which they declared before the ROC? Thereafter, my parents approached Mr. V.G. Parikh at his Kandivali office, as at that time he was the Chief Executive Officer of Anmol Fortune and who is still currently serving as the co-director in Wadhwa Realty, and questioned him about the same, to which he replied to my mother that, Mataji, I have sent the record to the BKC office, to the society's office, and there is nothing more to be done from my end. My part is done, so therefore I request you to not approach me, rather approach the society or approach the Wadhwa group or the Wadhwa builder. After having had run from pillar to post helter-skelter and having had got no reward from any point, any place whatsoever, all the while, my parents were therefore forced to go ahead and serve a legal notice to Wadhwa Realty dated 12th Feb 2022. The reply to the legal notice arrived on the 3rd of March 2022. The point number 2 in the reply to the legal notice stated that we say that the project Anmol Fortune was completed and handed over in 2020. We are in the process of collating relevant information, document related to your client's allegation, which shall take some time. And we are yet to hear from them regarding the same. The upper management employees, on the instruction of the top bosses, kept on asking my parents that why the transaction occurred. But when the society has clearly mentioned the point number 12 in the agenda over the mail, and they have suitably replied regarding the same, then what is the point of asking them regarding why the transaction has occurred? If the society has sent an official mail to the Wadhwa group, if they are wanting clarity, this is a blatant intentional malpractice. But over and above that, if they want clarity regarding the same, they might as well approach Unnat Nagar Akshay Cooperative Housing Society and seek the same from them. My friends, if the society has mentioned that point number 12 very clearly in the agenda regarding the registration of flats of Mrs. Ari, that means there has to be some ground because of which they have officially put that in black and white over mail. So my dear friends, it's very evident from what I have discussed so far that their emotions have simply been played with, simply been toyed with. This has caused considerable distress, considerable ill effect on their health and the family's well-being overall, and has also caused them to suffer from depression, and that is yet an ongoing process. I would advise all the people who are wanting to invest in their ready to move in or under construction projects to kindly proceed with caution.